Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Zimbabweans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow change champions, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for joining Padare Namambo Soswe, your favorite program back in full force. Thank you so much those who are just joining us. Yes, we are going to discuss here the speech by the change champion in chief himself, delivering an early independence message. Let's talk about that independence. Do we have independence in Zimbabwe? Do we have anything to celebrate on this day, the 18th of April? So you can text, put in on the comment section, and we shall also avail the link to those who want to join and speak live here. But of course, first of all, let me recap on what we discussed yesterday, because I really am very worried about this incident. Emerson Mnangagwa going to Davos in Switzerland on the 22nd of May to the 26th of May. Emmerson Mnangagwa, ED Mnangagwa, will be in Switzerland, Davos conference, begging for more money. That's where he always gets the money. And we now have to discuss where that money is going to. That money is always looted. And I was saying yesterday that we need to go back there. We need to go to Switzerland and ensure that we are there to show the world what exactly is happening in Zimbabwe. Because this is important. This is what Emmerson Mnangagwa is already doing. He's already giving people money, parceling money in Switzerland to Zimbabweans, in Europe to Zimbabweans, in the United Kingdom to travel to Switzerland, to Davos, so that they can be demonstrating on behalf of him or in support of him. And I've been talking to our comrades, our change champions in the United Kingdom, and I can tell you that most of them, those that I've spoken to, are already inching to go to Davos. So if you are here, you are in the United Kingdom, you are in Europe, please make plans to travel to Switzerland, because hundreds of Zimbabweans, if not thousands of Zimbabweans, will be traveling to Davos to protest there and just show the world who Mnangagwa is really. So we definitely need to plan for that. What I'm going to tell you here is going to make you angry. Of course, as usual, Emmerson Mnangagwa is already, or he has already hired a private jet that is going to take him to Switzerland. At least by now, the information we have, by now, 120 people will be traveling with Emmerson Mnangagwa. Can you imagine 120 people in a private jet? Those people, you can imagine, will be staying in hotels, and they'll be getting per diem. I think last time when they were in the United Kingdom, they were getting about $600 per day per diem. That's they're spending money. And now we are talking of another big entourage of 120 people. You compare that with what will be happening with other countries. I know in South Africa, it will only be maybe 10 people traveling. Zambia, it may even be taking less. Remember, when they went to Zambia, to the United Kingdom, Zambia only took about 5 people, but Zimbabwe had hundreds of people, and 120 people, as we are speaking right now, have already been approved. They have already gotten their visas to travel to Davos, Switzerland, with Emmerson Mnangagwa. How many millions are going to be spent on the chartered jet and on the upkeep of those people? But anyway, I'm just doing this to remind Zimbabweans in UK and in Europe. Please, let's get in touch. With my sister Mwenowazo, Delina Mchkambizi, and many others, Leader Barbara or Champion Barbara in the UK, and others as well. We call upon everyone in the UK to get ready for this trip. It has to be, we want a new Zimbabwe, yes. It has to be huge. We have to make it huge. I have someone here, Estella, please, you know me, I can talk until the cows come back from the pastures. You can go ahead and greet our listeners, and also go to the comment section.
Yes, thank you so much, Chief, and a warm welcome to you all, our Change Radio and ZimI followers and listeners, to Padare na Mambo Shoshe. Today we are going to talk about President Chamisa'S independence speech. Thank you for those who are posting in the comment section. Feel free to let us know where you are commenting from. Ask any questions, express your sentiments. We'll make sure to flight all comments, and we'll address the ones that need addressing. And as Chief said, if anybody would like to join the live to express their sentiments live, we will post the link in the comment section. All you need to do is to click on the link and it will direct you to our studio. Please share this live stream to other pages so that as many people as possible can come and join and we can spread the word as much as possible. I hand back over to you, Chief.
Yes, now back to our main story here. President Chamisa addresses Zimbabwe on the advent of the so-called independence. And you can tell from his tone, from the way he was talking, that Zimbabwe is not yet Uhuru. And I know many people who are listening here who agree with me that we are not yet Uhuru. He talked about the problems that we are having right now as Zimbabweans, and the area that I would want to touch on before we play the audio right now is the issue of electoral reforms, the issue of elections that he is always talking about. President Chamisa is always encouraging people to go and register to vote, and he doesn't miss an opportunity. Anytime he gets to address the people, he is talking about registering to vote. And that's important. Folks, let's not let this message come in another ear and go out in the other ear. This is important. This is what we need to do as Zimbabweans right now. Let's make sure that we encourage our folks in Zimbabwe to register to vote. And let's join the programs that are ongoing right now to ensure that people register to vote. As you know, there is an ID blitz that is going on, and there's also a voter registration blitz that is going on. Get with your people, get with the people in your area, in your village, in your location, where you grew up, where you were born, so that you help them to go and register to vote, either by giving them bus fare or hiring a truck for them or something, so that they can go and register to vote. President Chamisa also talked about ZEC, that ZEC must reform. We need ZEC to reform. If it doesn't reform, then it needs to be disbanded so that we can begin to have free, fair, and credible elections in Zimbabwe. We're going to be playing parts of that speech, very powerful speech. He had one in Shona, one in Ndebele. Can you imagine the amount of work that President Chamisa is putting to all this? It's Easter. People are supposed to be relaxing with their families, going to church, but he took time to talk to the nation, talk to Zimbabweans in both languages, in Shona and in Ndebele. If you can play that so that we can hear from the man himself.
Salibonani utwakazi womuhle. Niyatawa kakulu niyajabula kakulu. Amhlophe maZimbabwe ama. Salibonani utwakazi womuhle. Niyatawa kakulu niyajabula kakulu. Amhlophe maZimbabwe amahle. Nilifisela ithuba elihle nonke ngosuku lwe-independence. Impi eyomvusela iye idinga ukuthi umthwana weZimbabwe akhululeke, awuthole umhlabathi wakhe, ivote yakhe, ibaluleke abe nenhlala kahle, kodwa konke lokhu kasika kuthole. 42 years.
Yes.
Makorokoto Zimbabwe. Tinouya kwamuri vana veZimbabwe. Tinouya kwamuri zvizvarwa zveZimbabwe. Ndichiti makorokoto makuru tiri panguva kuona nekuremekedza nhoroondo yenyika yedu, kusununguka kwenyika yedu, kuzvitungamirira kuzere kwenyika yedu. Chiitiko chikuru chakabuda muhondo, mukutambudzika nemukushupika kwevakatungamirira kare, kwevakatanga basa guru, vapenyu nevakafa, vatinoremekedza nebasa rakanaka, vatinokudza nezvavakatiitira. Haisi nyore kuti tive nyika, tive vanhu. Tinonzi kusununguka. Ivhu, minda yakapuwa ruzhinji haichadzokerezve zvakare. Ndo chatava kusunga sechisungo panyika pano, kuti nyika ivhu, vanhu ndo nyika. Hazvitsanangurwi, hazvipatsanurwi. Zvinoda kungozivikanwa kuti patiri kutaura independence kana kusununguka, kutaura kugara kwavanhu nemufaro, kuguta kwevanhu, kuwana mabasa, kuva nechimiro, kuwana zvikoro, kugara muzvipatara, kuva nemigwagwa yakanaka, maspaghetti roads, kuva nezvekufambisa zvinomwisa mvura, mabullet trains.
Okay, Stella.
Zvikoro zvinodarisa, smart schools, kuvawo nenzvimbo yokurima inofambiswa nezvekurima zvamanje manje.
Well, that was the change champion in chief, President Nelson Chamisa. I'm still amazed by this man's eloquence in the there's feedback.
Oh, let me.
Right. Yes, I'm still amazed by the man's eloquence in Ndebele, addressing important issues in Ndebele, and to help us unpack what President Chamisa said in Ndebele. We have champion Barbara. She couldn't join live here. We'll try to fix that as we go. Champion Barbara, you heard the change champion in chief there, very eloquent once again in Ndebele.
Inonzi in Ndebele inonzi ingwele kumbe inchanju.
Yes.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Zimbabwe, from wherever you are. Lingabe lichona njani mthwakazi omuhle lapho lingabe likhona emagumbini amane wonke omhlaba. Yebo sihlangana njalo ku Change Radio sicubungula kuhlelo Padare na Chief Soshe edale londuna usoshe lapho sikhangela khona ingwele ye-CCC umnumzana Nelson Chamisa yethula umbiko wakhe wokunanzelela uzivuse kumbe singathi independence. Sizwe intshantshu uChamisa ekhuluma ukuthi khona amhlophe kumuli yeZimbabwe ukuthi sesifikise 42 years. Kodwa wabuya wakhuluma ukuthi i-independence kumbe ukukhululeka kwabantu kubuya kuphela nxa abantu belomhlabathi, nxa abantu belevoti. Abantu basebekhuthazwa ukuthi bahambe beyevota ukwenzela ukuthi khona ngomnyaka ozayo ka-2023 sithole phela uzivuse owamaqiniqini, hatshi uzivuse lowamanga okhona kathesi. Yes, ingabe sakhululeka ngo-1980 kodwa wakathesi chifu abantu abakakhululeki. Chifu, ndafara zvikuru inozwa i-energy ne-commitment iri kuiswa naPresident Chamisa pakuedza kuti vataure rurimi rweNdebele. Ndinoona president wamangwana, president achange achitarisa vanhu vese neziso rakafanana, president asingasarudzi, president asingazvidzi vamwe vanhu, mamwe marudzi. And I'm sure kuti tichienda mberi uko president tichawanzwa achitaura nedzimwe ndimi dzakaita vanakalanga, vanatonga, vana dzese dzinotaurwa muZimbabwe. Remember kuti Zimbabwe tine about 16 languages. Saka zvakakosha. And ndiri kuona kuti the new Zimbabwe ichange ichiincorporate all those languages muzvikoro kuitira kuti munhu wese akwanise kunge achidzidza malanguages aiya ndo zvandadzidza kazvikuru pathis speech yeindependence. President varatidza kukoshesa vanhu vanotaura ndimi rurimi rwendebele kuti vanzwewo mashoko avo eindependence akakosha kudai. Zvinova zvinhu zvinofadza stereki. Hanzi kana tisina ivhu hatina kusununguka, kana tisina independence tisina vote, because vote, kana tichitaura nezvevote chief, tiri kutaura nezve mavote. Kuvhota kwemunhu kunotanga before the elections yatinoti pre, yozouya during, yozouya after. So kana free and fairness of the voting process, it starts before the voting process. So if we don't have those rights before the vote, so the final verdict of that vote will also be not free and fair. So this is why he's emphasized on people to go and register to vote and to vote and to vote for their right, to vote for the government that is going to bring independence, the true independence to the people of Zimbabwe. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Champion Barbara. Please do not go away. I'm going to ask Estella to send you a proper link. Estella, if you can send Barbara a proper link, the one that she's trying to use, it's making a sign in. It shouldn't do that. She should just be able to click the link. And I know today she's very well dressed. She really wanted to get seen here. Champion Barbara. So please send her another link so that she can be able to come and join us here. Yes, yeah,
Yesterday I had a very good time with the Change Radio listeners where I was live streaming what was happening in Leicester, where our musicians were all here, the likes of Mambo Tutorial, the likes of Wana Babashero, Wana Jasik now, Wana Noxi, Wana Baba Harare, Selmo Mtukuzi. We had a really nice time. It was live. So I just thought of our Change Radio listeners, but unfortunately the camera had glitches, but they were enjoying. I liked even the comments. I was interacting with them.
Mambo Duterere, my favorite.
Yes.
Wow.
It was a nice show.
Wow. Well.
It was a nice show, and I just thought of sharing with our Change Radio listeners and viewers.
Oh, that's good. Maybe you can give us a glimpse of that as we go with the program. Yes, back to our topic here, independence. Are we independent at all? Of course, I saw someone here writing about what we are doing in the diaspora. Said we are being killed in foreign land. May God heal our land so that we can come and stay home. We are being treated everywhere where we go like second-class citizens, working as slaves and stripped of our dignity in the countries that we are, running to, and we have no choice. We just have to go with what those countries have to offer us, because we can't go back to Zimbabwe. Nobody wants to be in Zimbabwe right now because of what is going on there, the suffering. Sometimes we have to change the meaning of the word suffering, because the suffering going on in Zimbabwe is unimaginable, and you can't talk of anyone being independent. You can't even talk about independence in Zimbabwe because of what is going on, the decaying, very decaying infrastructure, the education system that has gone to the dogs, and our health system, no cancer machines, no health facilities, even bandages, you can't even get them. You heard Hopo even talking about gloves that people that want to be operated on have to buy everything and anything, including simple things like gloves. We can't even talk about the missing cancer machines that There are no cancer machines in Zimbabwean major hospitals, and people are dying every day because they can't get the treatment that they want, that they deserve. And then you talk about being independent. We are not yet Uhuru. We are not independent. I just liked President Chamisa now giving hope to people, telling people of what an independent Zimbabwe will be like. Those bullet trains that he continued to talk about. I know some people will be saying this is impossible. I don't know why we have so much little faith, Zimbabweans. Personally, and this is coming from my honest, heart, that I sincerely believe that I am going to see a bullet train in Zimbabwe in my lifetime. Even though I sincerely believe that it is possible. Zimbabwe has money. Zimbabwe has resources that are enough to provide us of any first-class infrastructure that we can dream of. We just need to make sure that the money that is coming from our resources, that is coming from our gold, from our diamond, from the many minerals that we have in Zimbabwe, from our agriculture, that money is being used, is being put to good use. And it is possible, folks, it is possible to have a bullet train, 5 years from the time that a new CCC would have gotten into government. It is possible because we have the money. It's not like we don't have the money. We don't even have to be borrowing money. Emerson Mnangagwa doesn't have to be going to Davos, to the European Union, to IMF, to the World Bank, and to all those financial institutions that is going, bow in hand, begging for money. We shouldn't be doing that. We have enough money. Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF are getting enough money from our resources, but they misuse them. They loot them. They take all the money, put it, for personal use in their personal bank accounts, in their personal pockets. And at the end of the day, we are left with nothing. But we do have the money to do everything that we need, including the bullet trains. So if you don't believe that we can have bullet trains, or you can enjoy a bullet train in your lifetime, I don't know. But I want you to raise your faith a little bit, because it is possible. The evidence is there. The numbers speak. The numbers do not lie. The millions that we rake in using our minerals, many minerals that we have, can tell you that it is possible. So I just like that part where President Chamisa was telling Zimbabweans that it is possible. We're going to listen again to the Shona version of that speech, so that we can hear more of what the president was talking about, the change champion in chief. Estella, if you can play that, and then also send Barbara the link.
I did send the link to Champion Barbara. And if I do play the video now, it will have to start from the beginning again, because I had to close to send the message to Change Barbara. But before I play the video, I would like to express a few sentiments on the so-called independence of Zimbabwe. I do agree that our independence is theoretical independence, just in the sense that we won the liberation struggle, and indeed we are independent from colonial rule. We are free from colonial rule, but in reality we are not really free, because independence implies three things. To be really independent, we must have freedom, which includes all the freedoms that are enshrined in our constitution: the freedom of speech, the freedom to choose our elected, to elect our leaders. Independence also includes self-governance, kuzvitonga. Kana tisiri kuzvitonga, hatisati tava independent, nekuti mwana akanzi ava independent zvinenge zvaakureva kuti haachaudzwa naamai nababa kuti unofanira kuita so teta kuti munhu mukuru anoita madecisions ake ega. So self-governance is another crucial part of being independent, and we are not yet governing ourselves. We are still being oppressed, and we are still being governed by a handful of people. Self-governance means that we, the citizens, are empowered to choose and to decide and to chart the way and the future of our country, to choose and decide what we want to see being done with the resources of the country, with the laws, the kind of laws that we want to govern us. But at the moment, we are being dictated to, we are being told which laws are going to govern us. The resources of our nation are being controlled by a handful who are deciding for us what our resources should be used for. So we do not have self-governance yet. And the last component of independence is the actual non-dependence, meaning that we are not dependent, but as a nation, we're still very dependent on Western countries or Eastern countries, because as you see, our president right now is taking off on a trip to go and beg for funds from other countries. When we have true independence, we won't need to be dependent on other countries to sustain our economy, to sustain our livelihoods. So on 3 different levels, we are not independent because we are not free yet, we are not yet governing ourselves, and we are still very much dependent on the West and East to sustain us. Those are my sentiments concerning the independence of Zimbabwe. So I feel like, as many people are saying in comments, there really isn't anything much to celebrate right now. But a lot of you are pointing out as well that now at least there is hope. We are waiting for the new Zimbabwe. And there was one comment that said, we want everything to be new. We want to change everything in the new Zimbabwe. We want to change the leadership. We want to change the laws. We want to change our ideologies. We want to change our culture. We want to change our educational system, our transportation system, health system, all public services. So much as we mourn our dead independence, we still have a lot to hope for, because 2023 is just around the corner, and all the signs are out that 2023 things are going to change. Saka tiri kuchema netariro, and we also have a role to play to make sure that 2023 does not end up being another mythical victory as our independence was. We want to make sure that all of us go out and vote. We completely renovate our government, take out all the corrupt elements and replace them with leaders who we know have people at heart. Then we start to build our new Zimbabwe. I'm just trying to locate the video so that I can play it again. If you give me a few seconds, please.
Champion Barbara, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, are you ready to play?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, just we just playing a video, just a minute.
42 years makorokoto Zimbabwe. Tinouya kwamuri vana veZimbabwe, tinouya kwamuri zvizvarwa zveZimbabwe, ndichiti makorokoto makuru. Tiri panguva yokuona nekuremekedza nhoroondo yenyika yedu, kusununguka kwenyika yedu, kuzvitungamirira kuzere kwenyika yedu. Chiitiko chikuru chakabuda muhondo, mukutambudzika nemukushupika kwevakatungamirira kare, kwevakatanga basa guru, vapenyu nevakafa, vatinoremekedza nebasa rakanaka, vatinokudza nezvavakatiitira. Haisi nyore kuti tive nyika, tive vanhu. Chinonzi kusununguka, ivhu, minda yakapuwa ruzhinji haichadzokerezve zvakare. Ndo chatava kusunga sechisungo panyika pano, kuti nyika ivhu, vanhu ndo nyika. Hazvitsanangurwi, hazvipatsanurwi. Zvinoda kungozivikanwa kuti patiri kutaura independence kana kusununguka, kutaura kugara kwavanhu nemufaro, kuguta kwevanhu, kuwana mabasa, kuva nechimiro, kuwana zvikoro, kugara muzvipatara, kuva nemigwagwa yakanaka, maspaghetti roads, kuva nezvekufambisa zvinomwisa mvura, mabullet trains, kuva nezvikoro zvinodanisa, masmart schools, kuvavo nenzvimbo yokurima inofambiswa nezvekurima zvamanje manje, matrekta nezvimwe zvakasiyana siyana, smart agriculture. Ndo inonzi independence. Independence rusununguko, independence chimiro neudzamu nokuremekedzwa kwevanhu, nokuva vanhu vane chiremerera pakurarama. Independence ukama, kudanana nokuyanana nokufamba, zvanza zvinopedzana. Independence zvinoreva kubatana pamwe chete nokufambisa zvinhu, kuva nesarudzo dziri pachena, makwikwi asarudzo, maelections achifamba zvakanaka, pasina anodiridzira munhu, anouraya mumwe, anoponda mumwe, nokuti zvakafira madzitateguru edu rugare, runyararo, kufamba zvakanaka. Ibudiriro, isimba revanhu kuti vange vachiti kuvatungamiriri, fambai zvakadai, itai zvakadai. Saka tinotenda tichiremekedza rusununguko rwedu rwatinarwo. Isu tinoti muZimbabwe itsva, naizvozvi parizvo ngatipe ruremekedzo kuindependence yedu, kurusununguko rwedu, nokugadzirisa kuti varwi verusununguko vave nechimiro chakanaka nechiremerera, vapuwewo mari dzinoenderana nebasa ravakatibatira kuti nyika yedu inge yakanaka. Isu kuti tivandudze nekuchengeta independence yedu muZimbabwe itsva, kana izvozvo zvino tinofanira kuti tisangosiya zuva rimwe chete 18 April, asi kuti kuremekedza independence kuitwe mwedzi wese waApril, tichiita zvakasiyana siyana, mimanzi, kuenda kumalectures kana kutaura zvenhoroondo yedu zvakaitwa nevakapfuura, kubata basa rakasiyana, kushandira nzvimbo dzinoyera, tichisumudza nyika yedu. Mapensioners edu, vabvezera vedu vakashandira Zimbabwe kuti isvike pairi nhasi, vanofanira kuwana chauviri nokuti vakariritira nyika chirere.
Champion Barbara, you can come in now. You heard the president talk about the pensioners. I think that's an area of interest that you may want to elaborate on.
Yes, thank you so much, Chief. You know, the issue of pensioners, it's a cause for concern. You know, what's happening to our pensioners, you know, it's so disheartening, Chief. I take it upon Kuti, our government is heartless. Those people, they spend most of their lives at work. They were working for the development of Zimbabwe. They were working so that they will save and for their tomorrow. But you know, unfortunately, they spend a lot of time at work, thinking that they are going to be able to live on their own on the earnings that they were saving. But that did not go like that, Chief. You know, Padare pensioners, they used to live a life that was good than those that were working. You know, we used to envy pensioners because they were living a comfortable life, especially during the Rhodesia regime. So you now see when the pensioners were living lavishly during the Smith regime, and then now we are said to be independent, the pensioners are living like destitutes. They are just like destitutes because the money that they earn is nothing, Chief. It's not even enough for bus fare to go and withdraw their monies. What most pensioners do is they wait for 6 months and then they go and collect their money. Because if they don't do like that, they will not be able to withdraw their monies every month because it's just as good as peanuts. By the way, I'm also a pensioner in Zimbabwe, and I spent 22 years working, and I was saving, I was paying pay as you earn, I was paying my pension fund, Old Mutual, I was paying NASA, and tell you what, my savings were in US dollars, but when I was about to be paid, it was now in Zim dollar, you know, more than 300,000 US dollars converted to RTGS. It's like you now get 300,000 RTGS. That does not even buy anything. Whereas in that time, I could be able to buy about 3 or 4 houses with that money. So you see, in the plight of pensioners, imagine, if I'm seeing this and if I've been through this, what more our fathers? My father is a pensioner, Chief, and the pension, Maria way pension, they won't nyama umusha. I think chino, I think sipo, I think chi. So they just buy meat because I'm responsible for their well-being, upkeep. Whereas the pension was supposed to be sufficient for them, for my mom and my dad. So you see, so President Chamisa knows, my pensioners are people, my pensioners, they contributed to the development of Zimbabwe, of which most of the money were being abused. Remember the issue Priska Mufumira, who was once the Minister of Labor, and married the nurse, think of one Casbet doing she married the premier. Pensioners, think of one Old Mutual. Could Old Mutual invest in buildings? And yet, you know, married the inflation. Which inflation when they invested in buildings? This is very unfair. And I thank President Chamisa for being so clear. I know we are going to have policies that are going to be pro-poor, policies that are going to uplift the lives of the Zimbabweans. So I'm seeing a bright future, Chief. I'm seeing a bright new Zimbabwe. I'm seeing a new Zimbabwe in the making. I'm seeing a new Zimbabwe that is going to be led by a president that has got people at heart, a God-fearing president. And the Zimbabwe, I'm seeing what Chief, you spoke about bullet trains. He also spoke about smart schools, smart roads, spaghetti roads, and bullet trains. And you also said most people think it's impossible. It's because of the exposure, the non-exposure. Chief thinks, many people think it's impossible. Isusu who have been exposed, we know it's possible. You know, I once went to Germany, Japan. You know, from Tokyo, we're going to Hiroshima, the bombings. So we went to see Hiroshima. So we went, the distance from Tokyo to Hiroshima, it was around 1,000 kilometers. And we got into that bullet train. We took 3 hours. It took us 3 hours to reach Hiroshima. And the journey was so interesting. Tainakis were chief because the inside of the train, you could think it is a plane. No, it was so comfortable. So whilst we were enjoying the ride, we still wanted to be in that train. It was so comfortable. It was so inviting. We did not even feel, it was not boring. There was the television, there was radio, there were what people serving food, drinks in that bullet train. So it is indeed possible, but it's just that people don't have exposure. So that's why we are here on Change Radio, to share these interesting memories, interesting moments that we are facing. Zimbabwe is going to be a bread basket again. I think, let me wait here.
Thank you very much, Champion Barbara, for an in-depth analysis in what the president was talking about when he was talking about pensioners, that every pensioner has to, get a decent living allowance, not what we are seeing today, that a pensioner is getting something equivalent to $10 a month. That's unacceptable, because what do you do with $10 a month? And then the last aspect we want to look at is the most one of the most important aspects that we, even those who went to war, for the issue of land. It was the biggest cause of Chimurenga 1, Umvekelo 1, Umvekelo 2, but today, who has land? We don't have land. And you heard the president, speaking about land, kuti ivu vanu ndo ivu, vanu ndo nyika, ivu ndo nyika. Some tongue twisters there, but that he was just summing up that you can't live without land. Land, is all we have as Africans, as human beings, and it's one of the things that we went to war for anyway. But that land is now in the hands of a few individuals. The majority of the people do not even have land. Those who were given land were never given anything to use to ensure that that land is productive. So that is going to change with the new incoming government led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa in 2023. So yes, I saw someone writing here a very important comment. He was telling me to tell the people something about land. Good evening, sir. Mr. Chief, please, ndudzirewo varimi nevari kumusha kuti hakuna anovatorera minda vakavhotera change. And that's very important, Tasso, as the CCC, we have heard the champion-in-chief speaking. Nobody is going to lose their land because CCC is now in power. That's ZANU-PF propaganda. It's cheap propaganda. That's what they go about telling people in the rural areas, those in the farming areas, telling them that if CCC comes into power, they are going to give back land to the white people. They are going to take away your land. Thing like that. Land is never going to be taken away. In our land policy, in our land reform policy, we have never talked about taking land away from the people. That's not going to happen. Those with the land will remain with their land. What is actually going to be done is to give those people the resources so that they can be able, to practice smart farming, like President Chamisa was talking about. But nobody is going to lose any land. If there is anyone who is taking land away from the people, it is ZANU-PF. That's what they're doing right now. They're busy taking away land from people and giving it to the British. You saw the agreement that was signed in the United Kingdom, that is giving back land to the white people. So it is actually ZANU-PF that is trying to make amends, but they are making what we call over amends, because they are trying now to give back land to the white people in a bid to atone for their past mistakes. The Triple C government will not do that. In fact, what the change champion in chief has said, which is very fair, is that if we see some people with 4 farms, 5 farms, multiple farms, those are the people that are going to lose land. Why do you need 4 farms? Why do you need 5 farms when other people do not have? So that land, yes, definitely it will be taken away, especially if you didn't buy it. You bought it, you got it through unsavory means, and you have 4 farms, and everyone else doesn't have enough land even to, farm for, communal purposes, for their, family purposes. And, definitely, if Triple C says, let's have 1 farm from you, we have 2 farms or 3 farms, there is nothing wrong about that. As we are speaking, we have leaders that are going to the farms, speaking to the people in the farms and telling them that none of them is going to lose their land. I see there's someone, a guest with, she just dropped. Sorry, sorry about that. They can come back and we can give them a chance to speak before we wrap up. Estella, you wanted to come in?
Yes, let me just inform. His name was Alonso, who had entered the live stream, but he dropped. Please click on the link again to come back in, so you can get a chance to give your submissions live before we close off. I remember, Chief, you also wanted to talk about the patriotic bill.
Yes, you can flight some of the tweets that have been posted by the people if you have them, and then we can take it up from there. But this is one topical issue that Zimbabweans need to be aware of, the patriotic bill.
Yes, so there are a number of tweets that were posted recently about the patriotic bill, because apparently it is going to be passed soon, and
Yes.
So we need to make noise to stop the patriotic bill from being passed. I think I've lost my tweets, which were... let's see what Hopo Chingwana is saying about...
Yeah, you can read what was boss. We can't read. We can't. It's a bit smaller. You can read.
It's actually not Hopo Chingwana. It's his picture, but somebody posted it, and it just says ZANU-PF rushes the patriotic bill. Okay, Skilled Rebara posted a tweet saying, I do want the patriotic bill, but it should state that public officials should bank in Zimbabwe. Public officials should use product ZIM, be it in health, education, transport, or currency. Looting should result in life imprisonment, and voting should be mandatory. And he ends his tweet by saying, "Add yours." So he's advocating for a patriotic bill, but not the one that is being proposed by the ZANU-PF government. He's proposing a patriotic bill that actually is patriotic, that requires public officials to demonstrate a sincerity and faith in their own systems by using their own systems. If they set up a banking system in Zimbabwe, so they should use the banks in Zimbabwe, and they should use the health and education and currency of Zimbabwe, not the current system that we have that they get their health services outside the country. Their children are educated in foreign lands, and they do their transactions in the US dollar, and the rest of the nation is forced to transact in RTGS, which is very devalued. And that looting also should result in life imprisonment, because it's very sad at the moment. Pickpockets, people who steal very little, are the ones who are sentenced to imprisonment. But the ones who kill enough to bring our country to its knees, they get away with it. They are sentenced to, they are arrested, imprisoned for a day, a few days, or a week, and then they are released. And I like the last proposal that voting should be mandatory, because it is only through our vote that we can be empowered to ensure that our nation is being run in a way that benefits us. As long as the majority of citizens do not vote, we leave the power to control the nation's resources, legal systems, security systems. We leave that power in the hands of a few who do vote. But democracy requires that everybody's voice should be heard, because it is assumed that what most people will choose is the one that works best for most of us, if not for all of us. So I would like to invite you to add your own proposals that you would like to see in a genuine patriotic bill in comments. If you can just throw in the things that you feel are genuine demonstration of patriotism from citizens and from officials, things that should be in the real patriotic bill, not this ZANU-PF dictatorship.
Right. So the patriotic, giving feedback again.
Well, let
The
me
patriotic bill, yes. The patriotic bill, folks, we need to make noise about this. What what it means to you and me here in the diaspora is drastic. The fact that we are here, we are talking about Emerson Mnangagwa. We are telling the people, giving people information about him going to Switzerland, to Davos, and using $1 million, over $1 million to hire private jets, and the advance team and the people that are being given, money to be there to demonstrate. Just the mere effect of talking about those things is rendered criminal. We are told you're told you're being unpatriotic. To talk about looting the way Jacob Ngaruvume, Wopo Chungono, and other people, President Chamisa, Job Scala, and many other Triple C leaders and civic society leaders, just to talk about that, just to criticize the government on the way they are looting, on the way they are being corrupt, and on the way they've run down the economy, run down the country. It's rendered unpatriotic. If you go, you're in the United Kingdom, you go and demonstrate, you go to the United Nations demonstration here in America, you are found there, you are speaking there, you make a speech there, or you just write on Twitter, you write on Facebook criticizing the government. It's criminal. That is what the patriotic bill means. It means you're being unpatriotic by writing the truth about your country, the truth about what is going on in Zimbabwe, to write about corruption, to write about the killings, unsanctioned killings like the August 1, and many people that have been murdered, and the unsanctioned and unconstitutional arrests that go on in Zimbabwe. If you talk about that, you are rendered unpatriotic, and therefore you can be arrested on arrival at the Harare International Airport, and you can be sentenced to jail, 10 years in jail, 15 years in jail, depending on the severity of your comments. Now, folks, is that what we want? Let's make noise about the patriotic bill, and that should be some of the posters that we should go with to Switzerland, that this is the man you are dining and wining with, who is saying Zimbabwe is democratic, Zimbabwe is free, but look at the laws that he is passing, like the unpatriotic, the patriotic bill. Barbara, your last words as we round up. Champion Barbara.
Yes, Chief.
Yes, your last words.
Yes, I can't add more to what you guys have just said, and Estella, about the patriotic bill. What I can simply say, Chief Ndezokuti, ZANU-PF is panicking. ZANU-PF thinks they know that people don't like them. Mm-hmm. They think imposing draconian laws to the people who make them stay in power. But what I know in this all detectors, they are removed the same way. Whether they like it or not, there shall come a time when the detector Mnangagwa is going to be removed by the people of Zimbabwe, because it's the people. The government is the people, and the people is the government. But ZANU wants to act as if it's the government. It's not the government. The government is the people. And one day it shall end. And it shall end in tears, like how all detectors end anyway. So this patriotic bill, to me, it's nothing but a piece of oppressive legislation by ZANU-PF, trying to silence the voices of dissent, trying to silence everyone. They want to create a one-party state, and at the same time, our constitution allows so many freedoms, Chief. This patriotic bill is against this ultra-violence constitution. It's against the constitution, because the constitution is written by the people, not by the parliamentarians. And I know this patriotic bill, wherever they were doing consultation, people rejected it in total, Chief. And now they want to impose it because they've got the powers of signing. We know the process of making a law in Zimbabwe. Even if people reject it, even if the parliament will pass it, because the majority are ZANU-PF MPs, and at the end of the day, Mnangagwa is going to sign. Is going to sign that bill into a law. So it's going to be a patriotic act, and acts are supposed to be aligned with the constitution. And this is where ZANU-PF is deriving its power from, Chief, using laws, pieces of laws that are not aligned to the constitution, because they know that once they are aligned to the constitution, they will be thrown away, because the constitution is the supreme law of the land. My ex-SI, even if they promulgate acts, they do not even matter, because even if you take your case to the Constitutional Court, we will still win it. But because the courts are captured, ZANU has created a system where it totally shuts democratic spaces. But like you said, people should continue fighting. We should refuse it in total. We should continue denying all the oppressive laws. We should defy. In fact, the only language a processor, the only language a dictator understands is defiance. Is we defy or we die. Thank you.
Thank you. And we've been joined by Mr. Alpha. Please go ahead.
All right. Hello. How are you, Sid?
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to emphasize on the issue of land. The issue of land, people in rural areas should put trust in themselves, should put trust in their effort, should put trust in their interest for change. Then I wanted to warn Zimbabweans who are in SA. If we go online right now, especially on Facebook, people have created many social groups, social pages in the name of CCC or in the name of President Nelson Chamisa'S. But here's the thing, not everyone who has created those pages is a CCC member. Some are ZANU-PF members who are trying to manipulate information from CCC people. Like CCC people right now, some of them are the youths who are eager to vote for change, and they are eager for WhatsApp groups, especially on WhatsApp groups. So one can ask on a page that I want a WhatsApp group, what can I do? Then they will give you reference. Then if you go to their WhatsApp group, I did that research. They'll ask you about where you live in Zimbabwe, your name, your surname, your chief. You see, and if you can give me the chance to send you the research, I can do that. They'll ask you about all that information. So what they are trying to do is to use information of people who are in diaspora to manipulate votes. Yeah, that's all from me. #change.
Well, thank you very much. And the issue of groups that you've mentioned, it's a very pertinent issue. And I can assure you that the party is moving in to stop all groups that are being, I think, Barbara, you'll be better to speak about that. You're in the communications department. If you're still there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Alpha. That was a very good point. But I can assure you that we are moving in to stop all those groups that are masquerading as CCC members, but they are not. And some of them have been going on to post lies and things that are, not in line with party positions by CCC. So yes, let's be careful about everyone who is saying CCC. Not everyone who is saying CCC is really CCC, and not everyone who is, coming up with a group written CCC is really CCC. Let's be careful about that. All right, folks, thank you so much. Those who joined us during this hour-long broadcast. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And things to take away from this program, as President Chamisa said, please let's register to vote. Those who are in Zimbabwe, those who are outside Zimbabwe, let's make sure that we help our folks and we encourage our folks to register to vote. Let's provide voter education where necessary, where those youth are saying it's pointless to go and vote. Let's make sure that we educate them otherwise, because it's important for everyone to register to vote and also to go and vote. And also, lastly, those in the United Kingdom and in Europe, please let's make plans to go to Davos 22 May to 26 May. Emerson Mnangagwa will be in Davos, and he's already lining up people to be, protesting in favor of him. But I know that hundreds of people are already preparing to go to Davos. Those who, belong to those who want to see change in Zimbabwe. Thank you so much for joining, Estella. We thank you for working behind the scenes, and your commenter as well. We appreciate you. Alpha, thank you for coming in. Champion Barbara, thank you for your contribution. We appreciate you. Thank you. Let's have a happy Easter Saturday and happy Easter Sunday. God bless you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. Good evening, Zimbabwe, or good morning, depending on wherever you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.